Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the video. I'm Tara. I'm a registered nurse, a health coach, a nutritionist, and a personal trainer, and I come to you guys every single Wednesday to chat about something in one of those areas. Today we're going to talk about your reason for embarking on some sort of a health transformation, a health journey. Your reason matters a lot. And it's not that I want you to lie to yourself about what your reason is, but it's that sometimes you might need to shift your focus, because a lot of times people have multiple reasons and you might be kind of hanging your hat up on the wrong one that's not going to actually get you those lasting results that you've been looking for. And when you can switch it to something else that you truly do believe, that can make all the difference. The biggest thing here that I see with a lot of people, the biggest mistake is a lot of people go on some sort of health journey or transformation with aesthetics as their number one goal. They want to look differently. They want to change something about their body. That's their goal. This is the case for most people, 90% of people that start. This is also a big reason why people fail. And let me tell you why. You can't control the way that you look. You can't control that outcome. You can't control how fast those changes will come. You can't control exactly what the end result will be, right? Your body will always be slightly differently shaped than somebody else. All kinds of things like that to consider. When you're not considering something long-term, it's very easy to get tripped up in the day-to-day, feel like you're failing because you're not noticing the changes in your looks the way that you might want to, and then that's not the point where you actually fail. The point where you actually fail is when you're feeling tripped up and then you go and make decisions based on feeling tripped up already, okay? So for example, if you're using the scale and you have stuck to your plan and you've done everything according to how you wanted it to go, but the next day you were up a pound on the scale, and maybe your cycle is coming and it's water weight, or you had a lot of sodium and it's water weight, whatever. It might have nothing to, in fact, if the scale went up a pound in a day, it's not fat. You're not gaining a pound of body fat in a day. But the point is, if that happens, then you might feel defeated. Oh man, I've been doing everything. I've been working so hard and I'm still not getting the results I want. So then you go and eat a gallon of ice cream. So you didn't, quote unquote, fail. I mean, you've never failed, right? Because you could always just get back up and do it again. But you didn't even mess up at the point where the scale was up a pound. The point where you could say that you messed up was feeling defeated about the scale being up a pound and then going to eat the gallon of ice cream. You can and you will put on the body fat from the ice cream, but that doesn't mean that the 1 pound on the scale had anything to do with your body fat percentages or anything like that, okay? So when we get ourselves so caught up in, buddy, I'm doing a video. Nice tattoos. You want to show everybody? All right, come show everybody. Mermaid tattoos. All right, can you let me finish up? I'll be quick, guys. What was I say? So where you messed up was where you made a decision based on feeling out of control in the first place. That's where you actually went off the rails. That's where you actually felt out of control. When people instead think about their reason, their motivation, and they really, really kind of allow themselves to feel it, it's where the goal is a lot more, I'm going to say, meaningful. It's not that it's bad to want any kind of aesthetic looks, right? The thing is, the great thing about this is that that's gonna happen eventually. But when you stop trying to control and micromanage every aspect of it, it sort of just happens naturally on its own. When you can start to think about your motivation being from a point of, you want better energy for life, you want to live a really long time, you want to prevent chronic disease, you want to be a great example for your kids and those around you, when you start to think about any of those things, you show up day after day, no matter what. It doesn't, whether you're weighing yourself or not, you don't have to be weighing yourself, but even if you're weighing yourself and the scale is up a pound, you're not going to stop doing what you're doing, because you're not doing what you're doing because of the scale weight anyway. You're doing what you're doing because you want the energy, you want to live a long time, you want to prevent chronic disease, you want to be a great example for your kids or whoever. So when you attach your reason, and it has to be something that's real for you. So don't just make this up and pretend that this is something that's actually valid for you. But thankfully, most of us have something like that we are really after, even if it's in conjunction with the aesthetic goals. But the more you can focus just on that and not have those aesthetic goals, or not focus on them, or not, be hung up on those, the more likely you are to be consistent. because it won't throw you off. If you had a bad day yesterday, you're going to get right back up today and do it again, because those goals are never ending. Those goals are for life, and you're turning yourself into a person who's going to be healthy, fit, and strong for life, right? So it doesn't end. There's no finish line. There's no getting frustrated about the scale moving or not moving, the clothes fitting or not fitting, because that's not what your main purpose is anyway. Your main purpose is to do the behaviors that are going to bring you the health, bring you the longevity, the energy, and all of that stuff. And guess what? As a side effect, will your body become stronger and more fit, and will you get more endurance? And yes, those things happen, right? The aesthetic stuff happens. We know that. It's science. You see it. You see people that have this consistent lifestyle are the ones that have, what a lot of these people's aesthetic goals are anyway, because they're consistent. They're consistent because they've got something usually outside of themselves, outside of the way that they look, that is a goal of theirs. So, for example, if fitness didn't change the way I look at all, I would still be doing it, because I'm not doing it for any kind of aesthetic purposes. I work out because I want to feel strong. It brings me energy for the day. It gets me through long days. It brings me the endorphins. I know it's great for all of my cells. I know it's great for longevity, right? So there's other reasons that I'm doing it. If doing fitness didn't do anything for the way that I look, I would still be doing it just as consistently as I'm doing it right now. And I want that for you too, because once you have that reason, once you really latch on to that, you will be consistent. Probably the thing that you found missing, right? I know most of you who speak to me or who watch these videos tell me that you've tried something and you've noticed results, but usually you just can't stick with it long enough. It's probably unrealistic. It's not a sustainable plan, is my guess. That's usually the case, too restrictive or whatever. But also it was probably sort of for the wrong reasons. And again, not that the way that you look, I'm forever getting hair in my face, sorry. Not that wanting to optimize or change the way that you look is bad. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not gonna be the thing that's gonna keep you in the game for a long time. Because you're gonna wake up bloated one day, and you're gonna feel like you're off track, and that whole thing is gonna spiral downward, okay? But if you wake up bloated one day and you're like, well, I don't care, because I'm not working out to have anything to do with my waist size, I'm not eating healthy because of the scale, the weight on the scale. If you detach those two things, you're gonna stay consistent, and if you stay consistent, you can get those results that you've been trying to get for years or decades anyway. I hope that helps. This is gonna be a video that requires just a little bit more thinking. So maybe write out what your goals are, write out what your motivation is, what your reasons are, and pick something that you really feel. You've got to really have that emotional attachment to it. So don't just say, oh, I want more energy, but like when you think about it, that doesn't get you out of bed in the morning. If it doesn't get you out of bed in the morning, that's not the thing to pick, right? Have your aesthetic goals if you want to, fine, but start to shift your focus over to what else do you really want? Do you want to be this person that is healthy, fit, and strong? Do you want to sort of step into that identity? Because you get to reinvent yourself whenever you want to. So why not do it right now? If you have any questions or you want to chat about this some more, as always, leave them in the comments and I will come back and chat with you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.